Now, we've been to Spain many times, but we've never been to Spain in February. And bearing in mind this is northern Spain, so would this actually be warm enough to enjoy? Would this be shorts and t-shirt weather, or would it just be a little bit warmer than the UK? Well, let's find out. Monday, we turned up in Vigo, or Vigo, not sure how you pronounce it, but it was a lovely port and the weather was 19 degrees, pleasant enough, certainly a lot warmer than the UK. And of course, when you get that kind of weather and it's sunny, it makes the whole place seem so much more interesting and enjoyable to look around. So let's see what we viewed when we got there. I think some ports are a lot more entertaining than other ports. Some are really not very nice to walk through. This one in Vigo was actually quite nice, and look at that beautiful weather when we got outside. It was really lovely. We enjoyed the day. Just show you a bit of what we experienced while we were there. Unlike a lot of ports, this port was really quite pleasant. You walked out onto what looked like a sort of marina area. There were people entertaining you as you come off. Obviously, they're aware of the fact that cruise ships are coming in and they're looking to earn a little bit of money, but nothing wrong with that. Love a bit of entertainment, if it's good, of course. And you walked on along the promenade. It was a beautiful place to visit. If you're unsure where to go, just follow the crowd. Most people know the area, they've probably been there loads of times before, but it's a pleasant walk, just going along. Just on the marina on your left, you got the shops and restaurants on your right, and if you just keep on walking, you'll come to some other open areas which are very, very pleasant, even just to sit and watch the people going past. That's something we love to do. We love to people watch, so it was perfect for us. As you come off the ship, you'll be given a map of the local area, and that makes it so much easier, because then you can at least decide where you want to go and what you want to explore. But to be honest, the weather was so lovely that it didn't really matter what you did. You knew you were just going to enjoy your time there for the day. You know, you don't realise how vast these ships are until you come away and then look back at the size of these things. I mean, they are amazing how they structure these and build them, and it really is a privilege, isn't it, to be on one of these cruises, because, you know, years ago it was only a select few that could actually afford to be on a cruise, and yet it's so much more accessible these days to be able to do it. So we always appreciate the privilege that we have of being able to enjoy the whole experience of not just an amazing cruise and the ship, but the places that you visit and the things that you see when you're at sea, because you would never get that experience any other way than being at sea. Things like the sunrise and the sunset, there's nothing to hinder the view. It's just a real pleasurable experience. So it's nice to just stop and think about what you're actually experiencing while you're doing these kind of holidays. The first thing the weather does when it's warmer is slows you down. You can take your time. You're not rushing to get somewhere to get out of the cold like you are in the UK. And the second thing is, it puts you in a really good frame of mind. You feel so much better in the warmth. So we spent a fair bit of time just looking around and enjoying where we were and investigating all avenues, all areas that we could to see what this place was really like. It's quite interesting. I really didn't think it would be that warm when we got there, given it being February. And it's always interesting when you're in these places where you're walking around with a t-shirt on and shorts, and the local people, for them it's still cold, even 18, 19 degrees. So the contrast there is quite interesting to see, but it really was a lovely experience to be able to get a bit of sunshine and warmth and just enjoy looking around at the shops and what it had to offer. One area we found to be really interesting is what we thought initially to be a shoe shop, but as we progressed inside it turned out to be like an art gallery. It was a very interesting place to walk around. There were clearly some very clever people producing these works of art. Not everything was to my liking, but a good majority of it was. I wondered what this place was originally, because when you looked up there was like a mezzanine level. Maybe it was a shopping centre of some kind. So we arrived in La Caruna and it looked beautiful from the ship just coming in. Yeah, it was a little bit nippy out on the balcony, but it looks lovely as we were coming in, and I was quite excited about getting off the ship and having a look around. Now listen up people, listen up. If you're not sure it's going to be really hot when you get off of that ship, then you're probably best to have layers, because if you don't have layers with you that you can put on when it gets a bit nippy, you're going to be cold and it will ruin the whole experience. And probably like us, you'll be back on that ship in no time at all, because you found that you were so cold you couldn't enjoy the day. That's what happened to us. But we had a quick look around at everything. It was quite nice, but because it was so cold, it sort of ruined the experience. We got back on the ship, we found ourselves a restaurant, had something to eat, got ourselves ready for the evening's entertainment, and got ourselves prepared for the next day, which hopefully would be a lot warmer. The next day we turned up in Bilbao. Now we were a little bit nervous. Was it going to be as cold as yesterday in La Caruna, or was it going to be as warm as Vigo? Well, we got off the ship and we were pleasantly surprised. It was 24 in Bilbao. It was absolutely beautiful. It was hotter than any of the days before, and it just got better and better as we walked around. Although we were supposed to be visiting Cherbourg in France, the captain made an announcement that due to bad weather we would not be able to dock there, so he decided to stay an extra night in Bilbao. And given the weather, I don't think any of us were disappointed with that decision. So, what's the verdict? Was all that travelling from Southampton down through the Bay of Biscay to northern Spain in the middle of winter really worth the time, effort and expense? Did we think it was a lot of money when we could have spent a little bit more by going a little later in the year and being a little more confident of better weather? Well, what was the overall experience? Vigo, great weather, 18 to 19 degrees. From the minute we got off the ship, we enjoyed the surroundings, the lovely marina and the great shopping area. La Caruna, 10 to 12 degrees, a bit chilly. Yes, you will need to be prepared with some extra layers for those colder and possibly wet moments. Bilbao. Wasn't that hot that the cows were producing evaporated milk, but it certainly was exceptional weather for that time of year. It's an amazing place to visit. Gexo, the cruise port for Bilbao, is a really lovely port town. There's a little bit of walking involved, but I'll tell you what, it is worth it. Experiencing a cruise is one thing, getting good weather is an added bonus. So if you're considering a cruise to northern Spain in February, it's definitely going to be a lot warmer than the UK. We would definitely do it again, and probably will. But the question is, would you?